Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, if I may have your attention, please. The opening ceremony for the second ROK-UNCMS Defense Ministerial meeting will begin in just a few minutes. During the conference, we kindly ask all of our participants to please refrain from using your mobile phones and please switch them to silent mode to minimize any interruptions. The conference is being interpreted simultaneously into Korean and in English. So please use your receivers. They're placed on the tables. Turn to channel 1 for English and channel 2 for Korean. Also, the opening ceremony for the second ROK-UN Honorable guests, thank you very much for your attendance. The opening ceremony for the second ROK-UNCMS Defense Ministerial Meeting will begin in just a moment. We kindly would like to ask all of our participants and guests to please take their seats. Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, thank you once again for your attendance with us this afternoon. We will just organize our conference hall and begin our opening ceremony. Thank you very much for your patience. Esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for attending our conference. If you could please take your seats, we will begin our opening ceremony. Thank you very much. Esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon, and welcome to the second ROK-UNCMS Defense Ministerial Meeting. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Ju-Yeon Cho, and I have been given the honor of leading you through the opening ceremony. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your attendance with us this afternoon. Before we proceed, I'd like to ask you to please turn your attention to the screens in front of you and to the front of the stage, as we have an opening ceremony thematic video.
The United Nations Command, established in 1950 for the peace and stability of the Korean Peninsula. Has now contributed to the foundations for freedom and peace of the Republic of Korea, with the 22 countries from the UNC during the Korean War. And with the ascension of Germany. Currently, it is comprised of 18 member states, while in charge of the oversight of the Armistice Agreement and the provision of forces in case of contingencies. With a focus on the values and roles of the UNC, the Republic of Korea invited the defense ministers and representatives from UNC member states for the first time in commemoration of the 70th anniversary of the Armistice Agreement in November of 2023. Despite the cooperative efforts, the world continues to face constant provocations by the DPRK. Nuclear missile provocations, UAV provocations, the sending of trash balloons, the multifaceted and evolving security threats of the DPRK are causing varied damages to the Republic of Korea. The Kim Jong-un regime continues to neglect the human rights of its people by the day, while focusing on military development. Recently, the military cooperation between Russia and the DPRK has become a serious security threat, extending beyond the Indo-Pacific to Europe and the broader international community.
유엔 사령부는 하나의 깃발 아래 대한민국의 자유를 굳건히 지키는데 핵심적인 역할을 해온 국제 연대의 모범입니다.
Cooperation and solidarity for the peaceful future of the Korean Peninsula is now a necessity and not an option. The second meeting commences at this very place for peace and stability. The second ROK-UNCMS Defense Ministerial Meeting.
As you have seen from the video, the UN Command was established for peace and stability on the Korean Peninsula, and the Republic of Korea thanks you for your cooperation and your solidarity. And now, before we move on to the next part of the opening ceremony, I have a brief announcement. We kindly would like to ask all of the delegates and participants to please prepare their interpretation receivers and set the device for channel 1. The next will be the opening remarks from the host of this meeting, and the remarks will be delivered in Korean. So I hope that you will be able to use the interpretation devices so that all participants will have the opportunity to fully engage and understand this meaningful remarks. So if you are ready, with that, it is my deepest honor to invite His Excellency, Mr. Kim Yong-hyun, Minister of National Defense of the Republic of Korea, who will deliver his opening remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Good afternoon. This is the Minister of National Defense of the Republic of Korea, Kim Yong-hyun. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to Minister Bill Blair of Canada for co-hosting today's second ROK-UNCMS Defense Ministerial Meeting. I would also like to give a warm welcome to the representatives of the UNC member states, including Minister Ruben Brekelmans of the Netherlands, as well as General La Camera of the commander of the United Nations Command. I would like to extend my sincere welcome to State Secretary Hilmer from Germany, which recently joined the UNC. State Secretary Hilmer, where are you? Oh, there you are. Could you briefly stand? Let's give him a warm hand. Yes, this is a warm hand of welcome. Distinguished guests, today, the date September 10th, holds special significance. On this day in 1996, the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, CTBT, which prohibits all nuclear testing, was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly. At that time, 196 countries signed the CTBT, showing universal support from the international community. However, since 1998, there has been one country that has continued to conduct nuclear explosion tests, carrying out 6 nuclear tests in total to date. And that country is North Korea. North Korea has already completed preparations for its 7th nuclear test, and it can be conducted at any time once they decide to do so. North Korea is also the only country that has openly declared its intention to use nuclear weapons not as a means of deterrence, but as a tool to threaten a specific nation. Recently, they have engaged in provocative acts using a bizarre method of sending trash-filled balloons across the border to the south. Meanwhile, North Korean citizens have been suffering for years from food shortages and economic hardships. Despite this, the Kim Jong-un regime continues to focus solely on advancing its nuclear and missile capabilities, ignoring the basic human rights of the North Korean people. Recently, North Korea signed a treaty on comprehensive strategic partnership with Russia, posing a grave threat to the Korean Peninsula and the international community. North Korea's illegal arms support has brought about brutal and deadly ramifications in Ukraine. Furthermore, the funds and technology received in exchange for these weapons are fueling North Korea's illegal military development. This reckless behavior undermines the authority of international order and norms, endangering the entire world. Such actions cannot be countered merely by individual countries or regional responses alone. Nations that share universal values like freedom and democracy must build strong solidarity and respond together. 70 years ago, under a single flag, the United Nations forces fought together to defend the Republic of Korea from North Korea's illegal invasion. Even after the war, thanks to the help of the UNC member states, the Republic of Korea was able to rise from the ravages of war and grow into an exemplary liberal democracy. I take this opportunity as Minister of National Defense of the ROK to express my deepest gratitude to the UN veterans and the UNC member states. The first president of the Republic of Korea, Syngman Rhee, referred to Korea as the seawall of the free world. Even now, the ROK plays the role of a seawall in defending the free world from forces attempting to change the status quo by force. The ROK has been able to perform this role thanks to the ROK-US Alliance, the United Nations Command, and the UNC member states present here. The UNC is an organization with legal legitimacy established under the United Nations Security Council resolutions and the Armistice Agreement. As the first case of collective security under the name of the UN, the UNC has played a crucial role in maintaining stability on the Korean Peninsula. Along with our military's overwhelming defense posture and the ROK-US Alliance, the UN is one of the 3 key pillars safeguarding the security of the Republic of Korea. I hope that the Republic of Korea and the UNC will continue to work together under one UN spirit for the enduring freedom of the Republic of Korea, which was defended under one UN flag 70 years ago. Moving forward, the ROK will continue to strive to protect freedom and prosperity on the Korean Peninsula and in the international community. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, today's meeting demonstrates our united strength in the face of North Korea's threats and showcases our collective resolve. It is also an opportunity to further solidify cooperation and unity between the Republic of Korea, the UNC, and the UNC member states. I hope this meeting sends a resolute message of warning to North Korea and a robust message of unity to nations that share our values. Once again, I would like to express my utmost appreciation to the representatives of the UNC member states and to the officials of the UNC for attending the Defense Ministerial meeting. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Your Excellency Minister Kim, for your remarks and also setting the tone for the meeting. Thank you very much. Following suit, ladies and gentlemen, we also have the distinguished guest who will deliver a keynote speech. His Excellency Bill Blair, Minister of National Defense of Canada, will deliver his address. Please also welcome him with a warm round of applause.
Thank you very much for that very warm greeting, Minister Kim, fellow defense ministers and heads of delegation, General LaCamera, Lieutenant General Macaulay, dear friends, I am very pleased to be here in Seoul with all of you in my first visit to Korea as Canada's Minister of National Defense. It is a great honor for Canada to have the opportunity to co-host the second ROK-UNC Ministerial meeting together with our co-host, the Republic of Korea. And I'd extend my sincere thanks to Minister Kim. Mr. Kim, Canada and the Republic of Korea have a strong relationship which has been built upon years of international cooperation, ever-deepening economic ties, and respect for the rule of law. We are both Pacific nations working together to uphold stability and security in the Indo-Pacific region. And Canada, along with all of the UNC member states present here, including our newest member, Germany, are with you here today because we believe that we are stronger together. Together, we are better able to promote peace and to prevent conflict. Together, our diplomacy carries more weight. And together, we are best suited to maintain a free, open, and inclusive Indo-Pacific. 74 years ago, the UN Security Council called for unified command on the Korean Peninsula to counter North Korea's unlawful attack on the new Republic of Korea and to restore peace and stability. Over 26,000 Canadians fought here in Korea, and it remains our third bloodiest conflict. And since then, Canada has maintained a continuous presence here on the Korean Peninsula. And I want to assure you all, our presence here will endure, because we believe coalitions matter. Deterring conflicts matters. The international rules that have kept us all safe matter. And we believe that dialogue matters as well. Dialogue has long been the key tool in our toolbox for avoiding escalation, and that's why all 18 of our UN command member states support the work of the UNC Military Armistice Committee under the leadership of South Korean Major General Kwang In-kyu and Secretary Lieutenant Colonel Carlos M. Caldwell of the U.S. Army. Over the past 71 years, this work and that of the Neutral Nations Supervisory Commission have upheld the armistice and prevented the outbreak of renewed conflict. And as UNC member states, no matter where we call home in the world, whether it be in Thailand or Turkey, Colombia or New Zealand, Canada or in South Korea, we all agree that peace and stability here in the Indo-Pacific are fundamental to the lives of our citizens and to our economic well-being. So we will continue to be here. We must, and we will remain present. We are also united in condemning the expanding military cooperation we're seeing between North Korea and the Russian Federation. Their deepening ties undercuts the UN Security Council's efforts to address the DPRK's nuclear and ballistic missile programs, which threaten the stability on the Korean Peninsula and the broader Indo-Pacific region. And this collusion brings consequences further afield as well. Russia's use of North Korean missiles in its illegal and unprovoked war in Ukraine demonstrates that Euro-Atlantic and Indo-Pacific security are increasingly linked. And here on the Korean Peninsula, each of our countries will continue contributing to security and stability under the leadership of General Paul LaCamera and his Canadian Deputy Commander, Lieutenant General Derek Macaulay. General Macaulay, I want to take the opportunity to thank you for your outstanding work. Your presence here is an enduring sign of our commitment to the UNC and to the security on the Korean Peninsula. Today and going forward, we have some very important work to do. In order to maintain an effective deterrence, UNC member states recognize that policies and systems that may have served the Unified Command well in the 1950s need to be modernized to reflect current realities on the ground, in the air, and at sea in the 2020s. And this includes integrating the Republic of Korea as a full partner in the UNC, as well as developing new processes that will facilitate better sharing of information and a better framework for the UNC personnel from our states to serve in the Republic of Korea. From Canada's vantage point, this will enable the UNC to strengthen its membership while improving its collective ability to understand emerging security threats. Minister Kim, thank you again for your gracious invitation for Canada to co-host this meeting, and many thanks to all of you around the table for sharing your commitment to the UNC's mission. I look forward to deepening our friendship and continuing our vital work to ensure lasting stability and security on the peninsula. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you very much for your words, Minister Blair. Now, distinguished guests, we are now about to welcome our newest member, Germany, as our speakers have mentioned, in its admission to the United Nations Command as the newest member state. So, herzlich willkommen. And with that, I would like to introduce the Honorable Nils Hilmer, State Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Defense of Germany. Please welcome him with an extra big, warm round of applause.
Yes, thank you very much, and vielen Dank. Minister Kim, Minister Blair, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues. It is a great honor for me to celebrate our partnership with you today. Germany's membership in the United Nations Command Korea is a clear signal of German solidarity in the region and of our support for the stability of the Korean Peninsula. We are proud to be a member of the UNC and to take part in this ministerial meeting just 1 month after joining. Germany's joining the command is an expression of our close ties with Korea and you as like-minded partners in the UNC, as well as of our support of the United Nations. All of us states that have followed United Nations resolutions to support Korea in military and humanitarian terms are committed to maintaining the rules-based international order, the international law. In a world increasingly affected by crises, war, and insecurity, we must be united in opposing those who want to undermine peace and stability. In pursuit of this goal, Germany is more than willing to cooperate with all those who want to champion this multilateralism, true multilateralism. Multilateralism is an important core element of the German government's guidelines on the Indo-Pacific, which we intend to further implement with our membership in the UNC. Our Indo-Pacific deployment of 2 German naval ships are visible examples of our commitment to the region. The naval vessels just visited Incheon until today. I think they just left with our Chief of Defense. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for the great Korean hospitality that our soldiers enjoyed in the last days. Our port visit is an expression of our close partnership. Our naval units are now once more participating in UN sanctions monitoring against North Korea as part of the Pacific Security Maritime Exchange Initiative. This contributes not only to the stability of the Korean Peninsula, but also to maintaining rules-based international order. Maintaining this order is an ongoing, indispensable effort that only makes the value of partnership all the more evident. I'm confident that our partnership within the UNC will also contribute to cooperation beyond the UNC. I very much look forward to these talks today and discussions with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your words, and thank you for your commitment, State Secretary Hilmer. And now, distinguished guests, this concludes the opening ceremony. We're going to end our YouTube broadcast from here now onwards, and of course the meeting will change into a closed session. All of the media officials, we also ask that you please leave the conference room. And with that, please allow me to introduce our moderator, the Director General for International Policy from the Republic of Korea's Ministry of Defense, to lead us into the next session. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.